Everyone thinks the Guild D-120 is a mellow, couch-only mahogany box. Here's the thing, the one I tested is a room-filling cannon with surprising top-end snap because Guild's bracing and that wider 1/3/4-inch nut let the top breathe and the notes separate. I went in skeptical, expecting mud. Instead, I got balance. Over 2 weeks, I gigged it twice, tracked 3 songs, and measured everything from action to decibels. And while the internet says all mahogany means dark, my tests kept saying articulate and loud. So is it worth the investment at $849.99 with a 4.5-star Amazon rating? That is what I set out to find. Before we dive into what I discovered, a quick heads up. If you are already thinking this might be your next acoustic, I linked the best current price below. But stick around, because what I found might save you from picking the wrong Guild for your style. Here is why I needed this guitar. I wanted a reliable under 1K dreadnought for weekly songwriter rounds and home recordings, something that did not get swallowed by a second guitar in a mix. My old laminate dread was loud but blared in the low mids and collapsed when I dug in. The Martin D15M I love, but that price tag hurt. The Taylor 100 and 200 series felt bright but a bit thin for solo sets, so I rolled the dice on the Guild D120. All solid African mahogany top, back, sides, bone nut and saddle, 1/3/4-inch nut width on a vintage-shaped neck, the iconic Chesterfield headstock, tortoiseshell pickguard, natural gloss. And it ships with a lightweight polyfoam case. Hopeful but skeptical. I have been burned by pretty spec sheets before. Test 1, build and setup. Out of the box at 45 to 50% room humidity, the action measured about 2.2 m on the bass side and 1.6 m on the treble at the 12th fret, with roughly 0.008-inch neck relief. No sharp fret ends, no high fret buzz, the gloss is clean and the natural wood grain looks legit. Note, mahogany is a natural material, so color and grain vary. My sample skewed a shade darker than most product photos. At 25.5-inch scale, it feels like a proper dreadnought. Weight on my scale was just under 4.5 pounds. Comfortable vintage C-neck, not a baseball bat. But then, the strum test. Medium pick, 12 to 53 phosphor bronze strings, 1 meter from a decibel meter. Big open G chord peaked right around 90 dB with a fast attack and a tight, controlled low end. It does not have that scooped sparkle of spruce, but it is not dull. It is focused. I expected boom, I got punch. Sustain on the open A rang for about 9 seconds before falling under the room noise floor. Fingerstyle next. That 1/3/4-inch nut is a gift for thumb-over players and Travis picking. The string-to-string separation is where the D120 surprised me most. Melody lines stay on top, bass does not smear. In DAD-GAD, the low D stayed taut, not flubby, and the intonation remained consistent up to the 10th fret. If you live in altered tunings, this guitar cooperates. But here is where it gets interesting, recording. I put an SDC 12 inches off the 12th fret and a large diaphragm 16 inches off the lower bout, spaced pair, 48K Hz. In a dense mix with vocals and percussion, the Guild sat without a fight. Less EQ than my spruce dread typically needs. I cut a 1.5 dB shelf at 8K Hz and a 2 dip around 200 Hz done. The transient response is quick enough for articulated patterns but smooth enough that pick noise does not dominate. Long session stability mattered too. Over 3 days with daily 60-minute sessions, tuning drift was minimal once strings settled. The open gear tuners held pitch, no slipping. The polyfoam case is light and easy to shoulder, but it is not a hard shell. Great for car to stage, not ideal for air travel. And note, there are no onboard electronics. If you gig plugged in, plan on a soundhole pickup or an external mic. What did I actually discover? The big surprise is that the D120 does the classic all-mahogany warmth without sacrificing definition. You get that woody mid-range that flatters vocals, but with enough top-end presence to cut in a duo or trio. The hours I logged made the value clear. At $849.99, you are encroaching on tones I normally expect from pricier American mahogany boxes. Against a Martin D15M, the Guild is a little tighter in the lows and slightly drier in overtones, but it gets you most of the vibe for roughly half the cash. If you want more shimmer and headroom, Guild's D140 with a spruce top is the brighter sibling. Versus a Taylor 214, the D120 trades some sparkle for meatier mids that record beautifully. Too good to be true? Not exactly. The compromises are honest. Glossy finish shows fingerprints. The included case is protective but not flight-worthy, and you will need an external solution if you play amplified. But as a pure acoustic instrument, it overdelivers for the price and explains that 4.5-star consensus. Now that you know it punches above its weight yet stays honest about its limits, the next step is simple. If the D-120 fits your mix or your living room, grab it while prices hold and stock is good. I put the best current offer and my pickup recommendations in the description. Bottom line. The Guild D-120 is a workhorse for singer-songwriters, finger stylists, and home recordists who want balanced, woody tone without fighting EQ. If you strum hard in loud bands or need sparkly spruce shimmer, look at the D-140 or a Taylor. If you need built-in electronics or a hard case, budget for add-ons. For everyone else, this is a smart, satisfying buy that makes you want to keep playing. It looks classic, feels broken and fast, and sounds bigger than its spec sheet suggests.